Welcome back, folks, to, I'm just going to say this, the final episode of Phoenix Wright. Yeah, it's going to be long, it's going to be stupid, it's going to be what the fuck on wheels. And I can tell you right now, that it's going to be so explosive that most of what I'm going to get in the comment box is wow and what the fuck. All this and more as we enter the final episode of Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. Save just in case. March 23rd, 2:35 p.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 3. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor! I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? That is... There's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong, Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Oh, he just came on himself. Oh, never mind. Now then, Miss Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impact's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Miss Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impact herself. It is a fake. Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impact, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corda. Mr. Corda? Well. It looks like Miss Impacts never left a suicide note at all, after all. She never wrote anything about Ungard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Ungard could have not known that. And so the facts remain unchanged, acting under the assumption that it was real. He had plotted to possess it. That is found very plausible. This theory that Ungard had no less that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. Present evidence. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Ungard to have known it's a fake. I present to the court the spy camera. Take that! What is this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but... Oh, that's right, a camera. Are you kidding? Your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Ungard knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Edgeworth would have not... Excuse me. Okay. Then this means Mr. Edgeworth would have known that the victim had forged the note. Ugh! So then the defendant knew that this note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution theory as to what Mr. Ungar's motive for murder was, it had suddenly disappeared into thin air. But Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Ungar monitored Mr. Corder 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Ungar didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Order, order, order! Mr. Edgeworth. It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. I did it! As you figured. As I figured, it came down to this after all! Mr. Edgeworth, you are not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Ungar's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all. Unusual? What sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley the killer to commit murder. That's impossible! No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? It's... Yes, go on, who is it? The man himself, Mr. Shelley the Killer. Or Mr. the Killer. Wait for it. Wait! Shelley the Killer? You mean the killer, as the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here! To the witness stand! Well, yes, in a matter of speaking, yes. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I'm asked for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it's really alright to do this. Very well then. The prosecution calls our witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness. Your name and your occupation, please. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer, and I am a professional assassin. I say! What is going on here? Your Honor, how can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was just delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. So this is what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure if this is... First of all, we cannot be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are indeed, in fact, Shelley the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya! Maya! A voice. Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. we are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer. It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corda. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corda. Now that we've answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream. Shelley the Killer. What is he going to say? About my client. Yes, this is the last witness. This is the very last witness. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. Well, he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor. Mr. the Killer is always stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about the trust between his clients and himself thing? Seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. We're gonna do a bit of pressing here. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that's why you're testifying in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly. That's enough, please! No more! Very well, it was only a hypothetical anyway. Press this. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Their rule. This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything! The judge had better watch himself. We understand, so please, tell us the name of your client. I am afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. This eagle. It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow that coming from an assassin makes it instant comforting. Yeah, you don't really care about all this extra fluff. Just tell us the name already. Patience, try to calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and close. So you're going to have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. So we go back to 2. Impressive. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. These are the roles and duties an assassin and his client are to carry out. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really. In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. Now what he says in the next part is this. Now then, I do believe it's about time I reveal the name of my client. Don't you agree? What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness, what is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Wong Koida? That person's name is... Shit a brick! Adrian Andrews. Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier! Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What?! This can't be on the phone earlier! What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Or kicked him in the nuts. Dude! You just got kicked in the nuts. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Matt on guard, perhaps? I knew it. This is outrageous! I was deceived! This witness is telling a very serious lie! But you were the one who summoned this witness. You... Shut it, killer! My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt Ungod. Am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was fake, but most definitive of all, we've heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt Ungod is innocent! I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in the meeting. What now? I mean, what now? With the way this is going, Ungod will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And Ungod, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shirley the killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled in Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me, it was a horrible lie. But Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button donning the Nickel Samurai's costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impact was a part of your life. A large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead. No, Mr. Wright! You know the truth. Tell them the real story, who the real killer is. Tell them! Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Request the trial continue! Phoenix. I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept the not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Matt Ungod is a killer. A murderer! I can't let him get away with this! I can't let someone else take the fall! If I let Miss Sexy and Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than Ungod. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Ungod convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not done yet. You see through this witness lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom. A miracle will occur. Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please reestablish connection with Mr. the Killer. Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more about. All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done? But what shall we have him testify about now? Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? About my client, part 2. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Wong Koida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation of planting of the knife in the butt. That act is what I referred to when I said my client had broken the rules. This is a most unexpected turn of events for the 5th time now. However, this time, everything has finally been reviewed. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. We still have the cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness.
Does one have a choice here?
Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that so beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. Don't worry, no one does. Not even the viewers. That makes 2 of us. No, that makes 3 of us. I'm the one doing the game, and I still don't understand goddamn thing about this game. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here we're going to present the wine glass. Objection! Thank you so much for taking your time to testify, Mr. the Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corda had been murdered. But how do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. I thought it was a juice glass. The glass. Mr. De Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Corda had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would have already left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not very important. It's not a very important point. Anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have the knowledge of this accord's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all! How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without evidence. Without any evidence. Sorry. That sounded like an awfully weak objection to me. Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now, I have to buy some more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here, I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. Request taking. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have no mistakes. So you physically met your client, That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. We go to 3. 2, 3. Present. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was that brief pause just now? Press further. Witness! I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Not important. Why he means his clients is not important. And that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping aim. Please stop. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face. That I began to trust him. That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Now it was. If I heard what I think I just heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Really? If that's the case. Witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I could trust this person as a client. In that case, this client, Adrian Andrews, objection! I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time? Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was untrustworthy. How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry. But that is an impossible tale. What? Shelley the Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews! Well, why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip up. About her. So what is the issue? Well, what did you say just now about her? If you ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. And wow, what a woman! Oh! Bust the guts out of him. Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following. That he always meets face to face with his clients when taking their requests. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Mr. Ezra, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked up the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? Shelley the Killer! This court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So, does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would, allow me to testify once more. I know he's just going to spit out more lies. Very well, but this time please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Next we go to here. And I must take a 5-second break. Water break. Okay. I am ready now. Request taking, part 2. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my clients. The request was for the murder of one Cordob and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So you took this job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he is definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over us. I know. I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like we can do this? As long as he's standing there across from me. No matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. Request taking, part 2. Yes, now I remember I took the press from mail. Now we press that. But didn't you just say you always meet your clients? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come now. Let's stop with this game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. Alright then! Just cough it up and confess! Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words! You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. DeKiller met with his client? I don't have any proof. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof. I see. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time. Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong. Press that one. And why could you not meet certain clients? Recently, I have been receiving more and more requests. If I meet each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities. Nice business opportunities. On top of which the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times and now take requests via electronic mail or email. Electronic mail. Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope? I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email. Email! In a contest of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot hands down. Anyway, so you took this job without having met your client and... Two or three other things. Yes. And what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I push his button the wrong way and he gets mad. This is when we press further. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one...
Wait!
Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? It's worth pursuing. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it is truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Cordo's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client. Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figurine and give it to Agent Andrews. We press that. I found this figurine at Mr. Ungard's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Ungard, I'm sure. It makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? Contradiction. So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews. But I know somewhere in that statement there is a contradiction. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he'll cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you'll have to present strong evidence. She's right. So now what, Dr. Wright? Present evidence. Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Ungard Mansion. Is that correct? Yes. Where are you going with this? Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. What? This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Shelley the killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it! Order! 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 So that's where you two were going! Yes, we went there! So, by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside of it, tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Oh! Order! 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 Mr. Phoenix Wright, I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else! I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement? No! That's enough! If that is your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do. Wait! Please! Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No! Please! Not that. Please, wait. Mr. Egghead, bring this trial to a speedy end, and I may stay my hand otherwise. What the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Edward? Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or this is enough? Well, we should... Edgeworth, we can't do this! If we keep this up, Maya, show... The prosecution... What has come over everyone, even you all? The prosecution... Rest. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What?! Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is Adrian Andrews! The fuck?! Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Ungard, will be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews will be charged with murder. Miss Andrews would be charged with murder. The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Ungard, to the stand. The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Dude, did old guy finally sign? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent. Ha! So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Ungard, you were atrocious as a lawyer, weren't you? Giving your client away like this? And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap? It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? You better get Ungard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Agent Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Ungard, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer's going to say what I want, aren't you? Right. I can't do this! But I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Ungard, is... He is... I had to say it the right way I had to say it. Cast in the name of God, ye guilty. We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Ungard, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Matt Ungard is... And Shino arrives, ladies and gentlemen! Shino has arrived! Woohoo! It took her a while to get here, but she finally arrived! Franziska von Karma! What are you doing here? Oh! You'll see now, don't you, Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces, do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Miss Israel. And Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy, he's fine and his injuries are minor. All the items are inside this. What if your coat is it? That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there's nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial. All for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence! Your final evidence? This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you are right, Miss Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this is one obvious rule applies here. If these evidence do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are left by the killer during his escape from the police. Must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around. Like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That is all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer pistol have anything to do with this case? More details. Does that pistol have any relation to this case? We have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. I believe it has something to do with this case, at least to me. That's the pistol that I used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes. Oh! I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as sort of a memento. I'm sure it would be an excellent sample for the test. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Francisca. It's probably not going to help us very much. So we get the pistol. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from Unguard Mansion. Question. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looked like they managed to protect it from the killer. Surely the killer is no ordinary man. And the videotape? The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Question. Was that used during the crime? I am almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There's one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There's a button missing on the uniform. A button. It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. And we get a uniform. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelley the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now. Wait, Your Honor! Please, allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. The judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end, Phoenix? I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, try. For my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us. 2? The first. Make Ungar wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Ungar wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way. Force the killer to end his contract with Ungar. If the killer were to no longer think of Ungar as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible! He is a man. He is a man who values his duty above. He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either of them, one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side. Wait, does she mean... You mean turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who needs it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and judge. We've all seen the pieces of evidence. And that is how we've come to know the truth. But there are people who have not seen them all. And those people do not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
Shit! Oh, brick!
I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I am not saying that it is up to us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor! Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance? Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible to turn this situation around in one try! One try, that is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think! There must be a way to save Maya while taking On Guard down at the same time! Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show the evidence to? I'm going to show it to Shelley the Killer. Take that! I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. The videotape. Take that! Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there's some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Well, he wanted more. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. All right, it looks like they got hold of him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence? Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of that tape, of this tape? I was sternly told by my client not to not watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted the camera? Well, the only person who could have placed the camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so that they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt Ungar film the crime scene? The reason why he did it is my ticket. The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to blackmail you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that? Shelley the killer? Oh! It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them and protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes. You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then that client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name. Even if it takes an eternity. I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright. Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item! Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness! This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I'm sort of, I don't quite know how to, just what the God! Miss Von Comer, what is it? She always has you in her sights. Now, you have Pincus! Sorry. I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. On Guard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. Is this all right with you, Mr. Wright? We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape from now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief? I said it once. I will say it again. Cast in the name of God, ye guilty! Matt On Guard. Even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? My wonderful self? Guilty? Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life will be in danger. No matter which way you look at it. You can't run from your crime anymore! No! Guilty! As always, it looks like we have covered the real truth. I don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt On Guard? I've left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whipped leather right about now.
To the face!
Very good. He's also going to catch pink hell. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. This trial was the first time I had stood on the witness stand, and when I did, I really felt hopeless. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her and fuck her brains out. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself and who I am. And today, when the two of you use your combined strength to convict Mac, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I've ever felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. Domo arigato. It looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned! March 23rd, 5:14 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You've got a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? My client, Matt Ungard, is he guilty, or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you.
Right!
Edgeworth, I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody.
Really?
Pearls!
You're telling me already, Mr. Edward!
Yes, she's quite safe. She is on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Mr. Mario, Mr.
Ow, she punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believe in you. I just said you as a Mr. Receiver. It is a receiver.
Thanks.
Oh,
What's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
About earlier, thanks. Ah! Why are you smiling, Phoenix Wright? You lost! Your perfect beam record has now been crushed. And yet, you are still happy. I don't think you'll ever understand. How dare you! Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth. For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl in a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense! We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have, erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch, but we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This, I promise you.
The truth.
Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense lawyers exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool!
Miss Von Karma.
I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser! A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth. You are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over! Francisca threw something down on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else.
Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot into another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this right. Okay. Mama!
Maya! This is Maya! Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know, I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Prairie.
Ah, stop it, Cheetah! Stop it! Is it really that easy to do something like that?
Thanks a lot.
Don't mention it. Maya.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm relieved you're alright.
Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. Damn! You know what? That is the loudest stomach growl I've ever heard in all my life.
Alright! I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Where are we going?
Food, Nick! Food! Grub! Chow! I'm starved! I'm so hungry you look like a nice juicy burger out of bun to me, Nick.
You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least.
Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please!
She would just...
Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint?
Sorry! Wrong voice! I'm sorry. Kind of excited here. My voice is kind of going out on me. Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint?
Don't be silly, Nick. This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I decided that we have to make it up by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick! Food!
God damn. Oh, my legs. Ugh. So help me, if this doesn't come out, I'm gonna be pissed. March 23rd, 7:38 p.m. Gatewater Hotel lobby. Hey, pal, sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe, are you alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. Telephone pole? And it wasn't a red light that got him?
You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking.
Yeah, and it was more exciting than the last episode of The Shiv Samurai. Thanks.
Now look at here, Mrs. Lady Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bully Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't stop being nice to him, we might just kick it tonight, even.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, come on now, everyone gather around. Y'all gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer.
Looks like Lana bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chat out, pal.
Amen to that, pal. Amen.
You know, when you think about it, you were the only one who saved the day, Detective. Huh? Me? You really think so? He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending. Ah, well, you know, it's... wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, and I was sure I took 4 things total, sir.
What? 4?
Yeah, sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item?
Oh, come on, y'all. It's over. Oh, boy, I tell you really got something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never dome over you, huh? You think?
Why does she look so happy about that?
But being shy away for 2 whole days? Weren't you scared? Yeah, I was really scared. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off the things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it! I want to see me picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, ain't too bad. Well, it's alright. Wasn't anything important anyway.
It sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. Oh no, it's the Konami-Com! What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Miss Von Karman's receiver! Ugh, thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do.
Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet!
And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. I had fun tonight. Now, if you excuse me. Wait. What? I just want to say thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. Sure. The bitch whip! Take that! What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job. See ya.
Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mr. Meyer? Yes, Pearly? I guess you two could go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You, Mr. Nick, I mean. Pearly! Would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me!
Anyway. So, who's paying for the celebrity dinner party?
As if you need to ask. I would say thank you to Nick.
Huh? Yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. Like, I'd already put your name on the bill. Huh? Huh?
Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. I was just camera shopping in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty hair. It better be anyhow for $3,000.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick.
Why do I suddenly feel like screaming?
Oh, you don't need to hold back now, you hear?
Yeah, pal, title it all out!
This is going to be the first time we hear the real you! Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all.
Alright then, if you say so. Damn it. Fine. It's done. I can't really do it, so. Yeah, I can't even do it, but there you have it. That's the. I'm just gonna say this. That's how you actually finish the game. Right there. Objection? Thank you! And ladies and gentlemen, it is it! That was it! That was the end of Phoenix Wright, Justice for All! And all that is gone and done is done. It's over. It is complete. The game is done. The game is over. We have finally finished this case once and for all. It is so awesome. So with that, I am and forever will be the Tenkaichi of gaming, PI7. And this was Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Justice for All, aka Turnabout Court Part 2, brought to us by Capcom 2002 and 2008, I believe. So with that, I'm done. I'll see you next time. And with that, I have to say with every other LP that I've finished, Tenkai Muso! We salute you, Shinji Mikami. March 23rd, 9:42 p.m. International departures, Gate 12. Where are you going, Francisco? How did you know I was here? With this. That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things total, sir. 4 items. Seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here? Doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up! You don't understand the thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be a Manfred von Kammer's daughter. Francisco. So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure, such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave this to me to hold on to. Yeah, right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. My edgewith. I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you have left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. Well, you know, Pookie SE7 do not play that shit. Sorry. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been into today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews. You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right? Today you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why you were standing here now, side by side. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I've no intention of stopping. If you say you are going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Francisca von Kammer. And what is this? I am Francisca von Kammer. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. I'm bad one day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. The card. Thanks for watching.